Hello everyone and welcome to another GizChina Germany review, which today is all about the Blackview Alife P1 Pro, which belongs to those budget phablets with MTC735 SoCs and fingerprint scanners we see being launched in masses by different manufacturers right now. I was able to use the Blackview Alife P1 Pro for over a week as my main device and want to tell you about my experience with it right here and now. So let's start with the package contents, and here you really get a lot. Next to the phone there is a flat USB cable, a 2 ampere wall charger, a screen protector, even 2 manuals, one for the device and one for the fingerprint scanner, and also a silicone bumper as well as a cheap headset. One nice detail about the accessories you get with the device is that they all come with a Blackview branding, and some of them even with a seal of authenticity, which leaves a very nice first impression. Now let's talk about the design, and that includes talking about materials as well. If you think that the Blackview Alife P1 Pro is actually made from metal, you are wrong. The whole thing is entirely made from plastic except for the screen. Anyway, that didn't really bother me since the price tag isn't too high at about 135 bucks, and well, this is the regular price tag without any coupons or flash sale savings. The material doesn't feel cheap, only the low weight of 164 grams adds a tad of cheapness to it. You don't have to worry about damaging your phone though, since it's pretty tough for being made from plastic entirely. A bend test has been survived with no issues, and I needed to apply quite some force to it for it to start bending. Now, just in case you wonder why my screen is cracked, then let me tell you that this was my own fault entirely. The device hit concrete heavily and any phone would have got cracks on the screen. Some might even be completely dead. Hell, the touch panel does even still work on the shattered area, so that's pretty good indeed. So just ignore that and let's continue. So as you can see, the device's front is completely white, which isn't surprising since the model I have here is the white version. The Blackview Alife P1 Pro is actually available in black, and the layout of the front is quite typical for any Android smartphone, so I won't go deeper into it. The only different parts compared with other devices here are the physical home button, and that it includes a fingerprint scanner on here. Something I dislike a bit about the front are the comparably thick bezels, especially on the lower and upper area of the screen, and the non-illuminated touch buttons, as well as a missing status LED. The glass of the front is slightly curved towards the edges, which gives a nice feeling to the phone. The frame around the phone has a slightly golden finish and houses a volume rocker on the left side as well as a power button on the right side, both of them offering nice pressure points. The lower side houses the voice microphone as well as the media speaker, and the upper side one micro USB port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The rear is covered by a white back cover that has a slight pearl finish to it. It isn't too intense though, so it won't look girly. You might believe to see a dual LED flash here, but that's just a fake one and there's just one single LED behind it. The cover, of course, can be removed using this little gap on the rear, uncovering 2 SIM slots, 1 microSD slot, and of course the removable battery. One nice detail here also is that they went for an LDS antenna for 3G and LTE reception, which definitely improves reception quality. The next thing is display. 5.5 inches, 720p IPS OGS, that's what you get with the Blackview Alife P1 Pro. Now, there are a lot of people who believe that 5.5 inch panels with 720p resolution are absolutely unacceptable. Well, actually this might be true in some cases, but it really depends on the manufacturer and the quality of the used panel. There are 720p 5.5 inch panels that look gorgeous indeed, let's not forget about that. Well, the panel inside the Blackview Alife P1 Pro might not be the best 5.5 inch 720p panel I have seen to date, but it definitely is a decent one that doesn't have to hide. Obviously the sharpness could be a little better, but besides of that it does a great job with crisp colors, a good contrast ratio and amazing brightness that enables you to read the screen effortlessly under the bright summer sun. Really, brightness is insane here, and the screen actually performs better than the one of the Xiaomi Mi Note Pro in terms of that, which was advertised to be outstandingly good thanks to sunlight display, but in fact wasn't. There's a flaw though, and that's the touch panel. The digitizer itself works flawlessly, but I for myself don't like the surface. It's just not as smooth as I would like it to be, and that really is a pity. Software-wise, Blackview did a nice job here. The phone runs Android 5.1, which means it's fairly up to date. The software is well optimized and runs pretty smooth on the phone, which is supported by the 2 GB of RAM inside of there. You shouldn't expect to play any games on the MT6735 though, since 3D games lag quite heavily and only casual games are playable. Regarding bugs, we haven't been able to notice anything significant, but the only annoying bug is the stock launcher, which tends to place icons of freshly installed applications twice on the home screen, so I had to move them into separate folders since there isn't any app drawer, which is extremely annoying considering the fact that you can't remove them in a different way, and well, the only workaround for now is to install another launcher. Besides of that, I didn't stumble about any significant bugs except a few typos. By the way, fans of custom ROMs will love the Blackview Alife P1 Pro, since Blackview released the source code of the device recently and also will release a couple of ROMs including MIUI 6 and CyanogenMod 12. Regarding the hardware, I have something to complain about. Pretty much all benchmarks claim the Blackview Alife P1 Pro to come with an e-compass, but that's not true actually. So whoever needs an e-compass should stay away from this phablet. What I love about the device though is its fingerprint sensor, which I honestly didn't expect since this is a budget device and usually fingerprint scanners inside those aren't that good. Anyway, the sensor here works like a charm. Failed unlocking attempts remain close to zero after weeks of using the device, and the software part also does a good job with no limitation on the number of fingerprints you can set up. There's just one thing you have to know. Make sure to set and activate a code lock as well, since after setting up your fingerprints and you don't do that, the phone will still be accessible without the fingerprint scanner by simply unlocking via touchscreen. So let me just give you a quick demo of the fingerprint scanner. Let me tap the home button and there we go, unlocked. Let me try it again. And there we go, it's unlocked, and I also can try that upside down and it will work as well. There we go, it's unlocked. So the fingerprint scanner works like a charm, also with my other hand, which I also scanned. So really a nice fingerprint scanner, love it. Another thing I have been surprised with is the audio quality of the Blackview Alife P1 Pro. The internal speaker is fairly usable for one that is integrated into the phone's frame at this price level. It sounds pretty balanced and loud. Yes, there isn't much bass playback, but at least the speaker doesn't distort at full volume. Headphones sound very decent as well, and with no background noise or anything. Actually, listening to music with a good pair of headphones is quite enjoyable with this device. Audio quality during telephony is good also, thanks to a dedicated noise cancellation microphone that does its job well. Just the audio itself could be a little more crisp, but well, you can't get it all at this price tag, can't you? Next topic is reception quality, and here I also have nothing to complain about. Thanks to the large LDS antenna, the Blackview Alife P1 Pro performs nicely in mobile networks, and that includes LTE obviously. The signal strength has been up to high levels all the time and I never had issues with data networks. LTE is working flawlessly as well, and FDD LTE band 20 at 800 MHz is supported as well. I also didn't encounter any issues with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Even the GPS is working like it should, but doesn't support GLONASS. The fixes are established fast and the accuracy is about 3 meters on average. Navigation and tracking apps work flawlessly with no weird jumps off the track. Whoever is looking for a perfect camera phone within the budget area unfortunately is wrong with this phablet and should better have a look at Xiaomi or Lenovo devices. Anyway, the camera isn't unusually bad. The rear one takes pictures with 30 megapixels and the front camera with 5 megapixels. The rear camera delivers sharp enough images with nice colors and looks nice, especially when doing close-ups or macro shots. Anyway, the noise inside pictures is pretty high and it's just getting worse in low light. The LED flash can't change much about this, despite it being on the brighter side compared to some other devices. Video only offer average quality and can be recorded with a maximum resolution of 720p. The audio quality is good thanks to the two microphones. The front camera unfortunately sucks big time since the results under daylight look very blurred, and in bad lighting conditions the camera creates way too much noise, so this is definitely not a selfie phone. Battery life is something the Blackview Alife P1 Pro surprised me a lot with, since with one full charge it is easy to get throughout one day, even with pretty heavy usage. For me that means constant syncing of 6 mail accounts and 4 social network profiles. The screen on time according to Geekbench without screen dim enabled is more than 8 hours, which is a very good result. The battery is advertised to feature 3000 mAh, which is at least almost true. The value I measured is 2800 mAh, which is still within the allowed tolerance. Charging the battery takes about 2 hours with the power supply that ships with the handset. So my verdict about the Blackview Alife P1 Pro: this device really isn't something outstanding, but less can be sometimes more, and that definitely applies to it. The Phablet does well what it's supposed to do and delivers a reasonable price-performance ratio. Anyone who likes this phone and sees his demands being fulfilled by it can give it a shot without a doubt. Especially the community support, which is to expect due to the source code release, makes this phone worth a closer look. Some alternatives to it would be the Ziswu C55 Longbow or the Oukitel U8. I hope you enjoyed the review and that it was helpful for you. If that was the case, please don't hesitate to leave a thumbs up and maybe a subscription to the channel. If there are any questions left, make sure to drop them below the video. If you like in general what we are doing at GizChina Germany, make sure to follow us over at Facebook, Twitter and Google+. You will now see a performance demo of the handset. Thanks for watching, bye and see you soon.